All right, so the ball is turned over. Who is the eventual goal scorer here? It's Achraf Hakimi. Who's the closest player to him? Declan Rice. And that is who should be marking him. But watch the way this happens.
Are you happy, or have you seen enough progress with your team this season?
100%. I don't think there's been a better team in the competition so far, what I've seen. But we are out tonight. We deserve much more, I think, in both games.
No, Mikel. Nobody is buying the idea that Arsenal were the best team in the Champions League this season, or even really that they deserve to go through in these semifinals over PSG. So what we're going to do in this video is go over some of the key moments and periods of this game. We'll talk a little bit about Arteta's plan and the adjustments that they made over the first leg. We'll talk about how PSG got themselves back into the game, got a foothold and a lead. And then we'll get into the second half, show that Arsenal really did their best to try and build confidence, but that PSG over time weathered that, got more confident themselves, and eventually put the game to bed. So, welcome to Campfire Football. I'm Sebastian North. Like the video if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And please let me know what you think in the comments section. For instance, did Arteta come with the right plan to this game? I'll show you what I think. Let me know your opinion. So it finishes 2-1, but if we go back to the beginning, I really think it's important to take a look at Arteta's plan. First of all, the huge difference to last week was the pressing and the early pressure from Arsenal. Bukayo Saka gets the ball. He's able to drag Kvaratskhelia back with him. Now, even when they won the ball, Arsenal had players forward. Look at Jurrien Timber, top of the box. He puts in a tackle and wins it, and he's able to get a cross in. And this is where Declan Rice had his first opportunity. He gets over the top of Marquinhos and heads it just wide. It's a huge chance from Rice, but look, Martinelli in these early stages was giving Achraf Hakimi a really tough time, able to get balls into the box, which, look, give credit to PSG. They won a fair amount of these, but the problem was every time they got the ball out, Arsenal were first to it. Arsenal also made sure that their press was high enough that they did not leave this ball open, where Nuno Mendes has the ball, plays a diagonal ball into midfield to someone checking in, and then they can get runners in behind. But Arsenal did a really good job this match of just locking this entire area up. Nuno Mendes with his weak foot, and it gets cut out by Martinelli. Martinelli did not drop into that space in the first leg, and that is literally why Dembele was able to get the ball turned and run at them. This is a good adjustment from Arteta, and it really helped Arsenal win the ball back and rebuild attacks and continue to sustain pressure. The other thing they did was reshape a few things to try and control the midfield. What you're going to see here is Arsenal basically playing with a back two when they were in possession. You have Saliba and Kivior, your two center backs. The rest of the team is going to go forward. We know Miles Lewis-Skelly inverts himself into the base of midfield next to Thomas Partey. That then allows Declan Rice to push further forward and get a little bit wider. And Mikel Merino loves to drop into midfield as well. But then also Jurrien Timber was getting forward. So you can see Timber here and Saka both basically operating as high wingers. That brings Kvaratskhelia back, which now gives William Saliba a little bit more time and space. He can drive forward. And because PSG are really sucked over to one side, Martinelli is open on the other for the switch. That was one of the things Arsenal were trying to do. The other one was create this line of midfielders in the center where PSG really just couldn't pick all of them up. You got 4 Arsenal players here in the midfield, and there's really only just 3 PSG players. And then look at the far side for Arsenal. Odegaard, Saka, and Timber all in an advanced position up on that right wing. Arsenal find Declan Rice, doesn't really have options. He goes back to Saliba. João Neves, close to Mikel Merino. He sees Declan Rice coming back in, so he's caught in two minds. Who should I mark, Rice or Merino? But he's in no man's land. Saliba plays the ball through. Merino turns. Who does he have? Jurrien Timber can check to the ball, receive, and once again, Martinelli is open out wide. So all of this from Mikel Arteta was great. The other thing that he and his set piece coach brought to the table, long throws. And who was the star of that? Thomas Partey. The guy does have a monster throw, and so early in a match, when you get a throw in this position, why not use it? And here, Martinelli charging in, gets on it. If he puts this anywhere in the corners, it's a goal, but that first one is right at Donnarumma, and it's saved. Then they would get another one. PSG, 3 players going up for that same ball. That is always trouble. When 3 defenders go up for the same ball, the likelihood is they don't get a good clearance, and so it just drops down. Odegaard runs in, gets a smashing volley, and the save from Donnarumma. I mean, I actually thought that was in, and the pressure continued. Now, even though PSG started to get a handle of these things, still Arsenal had PSG so deep that anytime there was a cleared header, Arsenal would just win it back. So all of this from Arsenal, excellent. Really good adjustments from the first leg. It's given them total control in the opening stages. They had more than 60% possession. PSG had yet to get a set piece. They had yet to get a touch in Arsenal's box until the first time where they actually got their foot on the ball and possessed it. And that had to be really tough for Arsenal. At the first time PSG are able to settle down, they immediately create dangerous chances to score. And that was a tipping point in this game where you saw Arsenal's confidence start to wither and PSG's grow quite a bit in stature. Kvaratskhelia being monitored by Timber and Saliba, and he's going to make a run in behind. That ball is meant probably to go over the top to him. It's a little bit short, so he recognizes it, and this is great technically. He just drops the ball down at the feet of Doué. The ball goes back to Kvaratskhelia, and right here, both Saliba and Partey are pointing, probably thinking he's going to do exactly what he did to Villa. Fake shot with his right, roll it onto his left and finish it. Instead, nope, he just decides to go for the curler with his right, and it's off the post. It's an excellent effort. And PSG started to attack the ball more and press a lot harder, try and keep Arsenal away from their box, and then they started to gain more confidence that Arsenal would turn it over. So look here, everyone is chasing the ball, and they've already done 3 waves of sprints to make sure Arsenal go back, and Barcola reads this square pass. Kivior realizes, uh-oh, that's under hit. Barcola's there right away. They were just knocking on the door, and eventually they would get a free kick, and on their first opportunity to set piece in an attacking area, they would score. Raya tries to play this split ball through into Rice. Kvaratskhelia reads it. He's there right away. Rice's touch is bad. Kvaratskhelia gets it, and he gets brought down. Free kick for PSG. The really important players to take a look at are the 3 guys at the back post. You got João Neves there starting to make a run inside. Fabian Ruiz next to Kivior, and Nuno Mendes next to Miles Lewis-Skelly. So as this ball gets played in, Nuno Mendes kind of stays where he is, and Fabian Ruiz actually drops out of the area. Someone needed to stay with Fabian Ruiz. Instead, all 3 Arsenal players are running back, and so Thomas Partey is kind of free by himself to win this header, which means he really needs to head this behind him. Fabian Ruiz was super clever. He knew if I drop off and they head this ball out, it's coming right to me, and I've got the second pieces. And Martinelli, to be fair to him, did a really good job of recognizing this, getting across to put the pressure on, but Fabian Ruiz chests it to the side, lets it drop once, goes ahead and gets the volley. It's 1-0. And like I said, this is where you start to really see the confidence dissipate from Arsenal. Once again, a ball goes backwards, and that's an immediate cue for PSG players to press and get out. Barcola, Kvaratskhelia, they immediately start running, both of them at Miles Lewis-Skelly to put him under pressure. He turns the ball over right to Fabian Ruiz, and Ruiz already sees this pass. Kvaratskhelia making run through. The ball on the floor is absolutely terrific. Kvaratskhelia is running in. It's an easy pass, and he just overhits it, and it's what kills the chance. Barcola now faced up by Lewis-Skelly. He cuts it back. This allows Declan Rice to get back in and make the important tackle. Check out the way Declan Rice celebrates this here. Yeah! And that took us into halftime, and so Arsenal would go in, regroup, and basically try the same things they did in the beginning. So the ball goes into Lewis-Skelly right here, and what's interesting is as he sort of turns away, you would sort of expect Timber, the right back, to sort of drop off, get open, and give a ball out to the wide area as an option. But instead, Timber does something different. He decides to start running forward, and that's actually what takes Kvaratskhelia with him. So Timber makes the run, Partey plays it forward to him, Timber settles, and he's got Bukayo Saka running beyond him. The other thing they continued to try was the long throw, but the problem is that PSG had figured out the distance and were now running out to go win these headers. And once they would win one, they would really get out quickly and try and win the next ball. Now the ball goes out to Partey here. He does a nice little combination with Timber to get himself into the box. He passes it inside. It's cleared again by Nuno Mendes. And PSG are just gaining in confidence because every wave of Arsenal attack, they're repelling. And watch Donnarumma and Nuno Mendes right here. Absolutely stoked, and their confidence just kept on building defensively. Meanwhile, Arsenal just can't find a way past this giant of a goalkeeper. You got Bukayo Saka here, cuts inside, beats Nuno Mendes easily, curls one, it's going into the top corner. Donnarumma makes an exceptional save, and Arsenal at this point feel like there's just no way they're gonna break through. And the thing about Donnarumma making these saves and PSG just growing in confidence defensively, it meant that they were willing to do that work and that there would be a payoff for it eventually. And so here is the second goal, and actually all starts out with an Arsenal attack. First, the ball goes out to Saka. He is isolated 1v1 with Nuno Mendes. This is a great situation for Arsenal, but watch Vitinha. Just motors himself back in. Now Saka has to cut back, and Kvaratskhelia joins, and now it's a 3-on-1. So Arsenal go all the way to the halfway line. Kivior looks up, sees Odegaard, who doesn't seem to be really asking for the ball, and he just plays a poor pass. All right, so the ball is turned over. Who is the eventual goal scorer here? It's Ashraf Hakimi. Who's the closest player to him? Declan Rice. And that is who should be marking him. But watch the way this happens. As Kvaratskhelia gets away, now the distance between Rice and Hakimi is big and growing. And it's not until this moment right here where Rice sees him and is like, this is trouble. So Kvaratskhelia motors up, gets himself up into the penalty area, drops the ball back to the top of the box. It's going towards Achraf Hakimi, but Thomas Partey is going to get there first. And as he looks up right here, he sees Rice coming. And I think he just got caught in two minds. Should I clear it, or should I try and find a way to get it to Rice and see if we can play out? And he just gets in a muddle. Hakimi wins the ball. Dembele is the first to it, plays it back to Hakimi. Brilliant little finish into the far corner, and it's 2-0. And at this point you thought, well, it's definitely over, right? I mean, it pretty much was, but Arsenal were able to get a lifeline. Arsenal are back to 2-1, 15 minutes to play. Can they make their next chance count? No. Unfortunately, Saka would miss an opportunity you never see him miss. But at this point in the game, PSG were really kind of disorganized, and Calafiori was able to find space on the far side. This cross by him is exceptional. Nobody marked Saka. The first time that Donnarumma is beaten is right there. Saka is 7 yards out with a tap-in, and he puts it over. That was the moment, and after that, Arsenal never recovered. So look, Arsenal put up a really good fight. They tried, and I think they did a lot of the right things and made a lot of the good adjustments from the first leg. The problem is they didn't score when they had the opportunities. They had all that pressure in the first 20 minutes, corners, throw-ins, all these set pieces, but they didn't cash in on them. And the first set piece PSG have, they score. So really impressive from PSG to soak up pressure, keep themselves in the game, and then build confidence with the slightest attacks that they were able to create. That's why they're so good. But what you can absolutely say is that Arsenal were not the best team in Europe this season. PSG deserved to go through over these two legs, and probably the most exciting team to watch in Europe this season. So I hope you enjoyed the breakdown. Thanks for stopping by. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Take it easy.